Hello everyone, welcome to another Facebook Live. I've been sitting here for about 3/4 of an hour waiting to go live and then I'm 2 minutes late, so I'm so sorry. My name's Stephanie Weightman. I'm here with two Red Robins in a brand new company. I won't be able to say that for many more weeks, will I? But new company that I'm so excited about because I'm going to be crafting alongside my husband, a few good friends and of course yourself. So what we're going to do this evening is I have got a Facebook offer for you and I've also got a special code. Who would have ever dreamt that we would have won last night in the football? So we chose the code Euros, and when you go to the checkout it's actually going to give you this. It's a free packet of our storage wallets and you actually get 10 of these in here. Now I'm going to show you the way that I use them. So first of all, they're used to put our dies in, and also I put reflections in it as well. So they're a great way of doing it. Facebook Lives, of course, I want to share with you what we've got product-wise because that's always exciting as a crafter, especially when the parcels come. But this is more about me showing you ideas, inspiration, and lots of fun. So I'll tell you what the deal is. I'll tell you at the end. At the end, if it's not something that you want, but you can already switch off. But otherwise, what we've got for you tonight is I've got this fabulous lock. So you've got the lost lock, and I'm going to show you a great way of using this on the cards. And this one would normally be £8.99. I've got the shadow ferns, and there again, I've got them in my pocket, and I've got the ferns, my die cuts at the back. That one would normally be £8.99. I've got the fabulous cap, which is called Worn Out. And actually at the moment, Carl was talking about it the other day, he needs to get some washers because the taps are drippy in the kitchen. So we were talking about that being worn out. And then if you get those three things together, you're going to get your fabulous set of wallets. So that's the way that the deal works. All you need to do is actually use that code at the checkout, but let's get crafting. So what I have got here is I'm going to work with those dies, and I'm also going to work with a couple of elements from our Field of Dreams. And by the way, all the Field of Dreams is back now. We have got those. Lots of you have been buying those today. But I want to share with you a couple of ideas, and I've got so much done ready for this show. I'm really quite excited about it. And I'm still in my old sitting room at home. There's a little bit wallpaper peeling in a couple of places because we've had a bit of a problem with the roof. But at the craft room, some of the cupboards have come today. Carl's been fitting those for me. I'm hoping in the next week or so I'll be able to show you my new craft room. But more importantly, keep these pieces coming on the little video clips so you've got loads of ideas. And I'm saving up for an overhead camera so that you can see what's happening. So first things first, I've got two pieces of A4 card and I have folded them so they're approximately a square. So let me just have a look at this. So that's 8 1/4 and that is 8 1/2. Not quite a square. Try and get yours more accurate. And what I did, because I was just being really quick, was I folded over the surplus and I did it together rather than using my scoreboard. Use your scoreboard at home because you'll get a better result. And then I'm going to turn it so that both pieces work like this, but actually I need to get this right. So that needs to go round. That's it. So it needs to look like that. So those two go together like that. So I'm using my glass cutting mat, and I've got my kit and caboodle mat, and I'm just wrapping that round. Now I've already got some glue on there, and I stocked up on tape pens the last time they were on offer on Create and Craft. So I've got a ton of these, which they're just fab. And that's how our card front is going to open, okay? Now this piece here is where I'm going to put my forgotten lock and lost locker, sorry. And I love this. So what I've done is, and there are multiple colourways of reflections on the website, so go and check those out. So I've got here two different colourways. I've got one that's sort of more gold and one that's more sort of bronze, but what you'll notice is they've both got rust on them, and that rust has been purposely coloured so it goes with these little robins, and so you can see how the colours are really sort of very tonal and come together. Now what I want to do is I'd like to decoupage these up and get some dimension. So I'm going to show you where I would snip, because remember we always snip away the background and leave the foreground. So what I need to do here is I'm going to snip away the bit of the chain that I've got there, and you'll very quickly see how it literally frees it all up. So look, it becomes two pieces. Then I'm going to go round the back of the chain there, and I'm going to cut through that piece. I'm going to go all the way round, cut through the back of the lock itself, take that piece off. So I'm actually left, I've got a little wobble there, let me get rid of that. So I'm actually left with just this piece, and I'm then going to take away this inner piece. So as it would tuck underneath, let me just show you on this. So as it would tuck underneath there, that's where our dimension is. So you can really sort of see that that would come ahead. So let me just hold it better for you. So it holds like that. Can I say hello? Hello to everybody who's just joining us. It's really lovely to have your company. You're a long way away from me, so I'll keep answering your questions as we go along, saying hello. And also the other thing is people have started to send pictures of things that they've made, and I would really, really love you to do that. And I'm going to tell you a massive secret. And that secret is that I've told you about two red robins being about storytelling. Well, we are working on a book, and that book is going to come out at the end of the year, and it's going to feature all the scenes that we've been creating through all of our crafting, and actually it's going to be a proper book. I mean, talk about excited, I'm beside myself and couldn't sleep, which actually that in its own right's a problem because I don't get enough sleep like lots of us already. But yeah, I'm just a little bit excited. Right, now the next thing I need to do is, so I've put foam on here and I've got the two pieces so that there's depth and dimension to them. But this piece here should go behind the chain that's on the front. So what I'm going to want to do to that is put a little bit of adhesive on it so that that goes down flat, and it looks like the metal is actually going underneath that part of the lock. So we're getting proper dimension in there, and it really starts to look special. And then the other part of it is the middle of it, and although it's rounded, because you can print your reflections and you can cut these out as many times as you want, I am going to take out the centre. And when you cut in a circle, it's normally quite difficult, but because this circle has got pips in it, and those little pips are just fibres that are holding it in place, I can take that piece out, and look how easily and perfectly it's come out. And I've chosen it as a slightly different colour so that we can see what that looks like. And I'm just going to get some foam that's not quite as thick and take a piece of tape, pop that on the bottom, and then this is going to sit onto here. And because I've taken one from one of the other colourways, it stands out even more. So it looks quite good, doesn't it? So I'm going to go back to my greeting card now, and I want you to see how I would use this lock on the side of my card. So I'm just going to hold it there for you, so that it looks like it's actually acting as a closure and holding it back. And to make this look even more spectacular, I'm going to just fold back this edge that I've got here, take a piece of card that's just a similar colour, or maybe just choosing one that's going to be complementary, quite like this. So I just need a sliver of card so that I can show you just the tiniest edge of this. So I'll pop that in place so you can see, almost as if we're putting in a piping band, just there. And then this opens like this, and our lock is going to sit on there. So I'm going to glue this all in place because I actually want to finish your complete card tonight. So let's get this all ready to glue. This needs to go along the edge. So of this piece that folds back, and it isn't going to fold back all the way, it's going to end up short of the fold line. I've put some glue right up to the score line, the fold line, and I've put glue on the edge. As I then close this, I can make sure that I'm just revealing about 2 millimeters of that blue, and that will be just enough for it to stand out like it does there. And because it's also very sturdy, it will help the card stand up even if you get lots of weight on. So there we've got a great overlapping card front, and it's ready for my lock. That looks fantastic. My lock to go on. You'll see this in just a second. So I've got to decide if it's going to go up to the top. No, it needs to come into the middle, and it needs to go just there. So there's my lock. So it's actually acting as a closure for the card, but it isn't just a closure for the card, because I'll show you that again in a minute, that's a different idea. So what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to build the design inside. So this is encouraging whoever receives it to open it up and just have a look inside, okay? So I've got a number of different pictures. This is the tough one because there are some really gorgeous pictures on the website. So don't forget, you'll know we're on Highlight Crafts because you're visiting. So here we go, that's one of them, I've cut it down. Here's another one I've cut down. And the third one I chose was this one. And I'd like you to see what happens when I put this on. So there's one, okay. There's another. And then there's the third. And now I'm going to do this. So I'm just going to put my fence post at the bottom. Hello everybody. To those of you that have just joined us, it's really exciting having your company. Thank you so much. So there's my fence post in my aperture. So now look at it. So there's one. So get rid of that one. There's another. See, it just creates that seam straight away. Let's take that one down and put this one in. Loving all of those, but then the next bit is the bit that's best. So we've got here then our tap, and I'm just going to put my tap actually on the fence post. So I'm just going to use some adhesive, and I'm going to let you then see how this has built up. So I've put 2 lots of glue, one in line with the main body of the tap and one in line with the foliage. And I have used foam, so I'm going to get a bit of height with it. And that is going to sit just there. So you can see now how it's sitting in my aperture. And then if I bring in my picture, so I'm building the design, and it just is so clever the way all the elements work. Then I'm going to do the next one. I do think I chose the first one because of the water in the background, but it's still our forgotten fence is there. So for all of those. Now we need to put some foliage in. So I'm going to put some foliage in. Let me just build my design here. So I'm going to have a look at that. That's going to sit in there. Oh, it just, do you know, it's such a dream crafting. It makes you, it just is relaxing. You forget about everything else that's going on in the world and everything else that's happening around you. I've got little Pip is going to go in here. and she's going to, or he is going to go right to the bottom there. Oh no, actually to the side, I think. Right, let's start to build this up. So I do need to put my picture in next. So my picture's going inside, and I'm building my scene. Oh, I know what I need to tell you. You know, we promised you that we would bring the designs with winter colourways. Well, if you haven't already seen them, let me show you these. So this is our regular tap, and this is our snowy one. So look at the difference. We've got a frosty and a regular. You can see all the little frosty bits on it. So we've got frosty taps, frosty fences. It is just absolutely fabulous. Then this is ready to go over the top. So I've got my design there. I'm going to lift this up and start to bring the design together. Now, if you are a fan of foam on a roll, which I absolutely love, one of the things that I do is when I get to my corners, I hold my finger over it, tease it round and take it all the way across. And then once you take off the backing, it releases the tension on the foam and it starts to go flatter, and you'll find that not only is it a really quick way of crafting, but actually the other thing about it is when I lay this down, I will get a really, really good finish and it will be well supported. So if only every demonstration went as well as this one. So that's why I wanted to have that piece to fold back from the front, because you can see the lock and the tap going together. When I close this up, the lock's like the story to open it up, because what's inside. And then inside I've started to build my design, but I haven't finished yet. So the next part of it is to use some of our ferns. And these are fab. And you probably don't even know you need them until you haven't got them. But if I take a whole bunch of these and I put them on this piece of blue card like this, and I sit my little robin in there, it looks like he's making himself a little nest. Or the other thing I can do is, and this is my favourite bit, is just got to put a little bit of glue on his beak. So he's actually carrying the piece of fern in his beak. So it looks really cute. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put him inside the card, but I'm going to put him on foam. So shape him round just a little bit so you get a bit of dimension. Oh, by the way, this little character that's looking up, he's called Pip, and he was available only on the Highlight Crafts website. He wasn't on Create and Craft. He was just a little character. He got a bit left behind, and we wanted one that we could have whenever we needed him. So Pip's our sort of star of the show, if you like. Willow. Oh, Willow, I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh, you corrected me. Thank you so much. Oh, can I tell you something? Carl's not here. I once had a boyfriend called Pip. God help me if he's watching. So anyway, moving swiftly on, that was a long time before I met my husband. I've never had one called Willow though. I need to think about that. Can't believe I'm so sorry, little bird, calling you by the wrong name. That's not fair, is it? Well, that's my faux pas for tonight, isn't it? That's good, because I normally make at least one. Last time I had to get off quick because I got into so much trouble for getting all the pricing wrong and telling you we'd got stuff and we hadn't. And you've all been so patient, we do appreciate it. Right, what I'm doing now is I'm going to show you step by step. So I've put some foliage in here. Now the problem is that you've got to make sure that you don't get into the crease. So the frame that I've got is away from the score line here. So I've got enough room for that not to get squashed when I go inside. And then I'm going to put some of it actually inside the frame, so it doesn't look like we're two-dimensional. We want to look three-dimensional. So I'm just going to feed that bit of foliage inside, and it needs a bit of a snip there, and that's going to go just there, and I'm just going to let you see that. So it looks like it's like a piece of grass. Can you see how that works really well there? So we've got willow, sorry, Pip, willow, and we've got our fabulous, that's our worn out tap with the designs of those lovely ferns. And then when we close this up, we've actually got there our lost lock. I'm just going to open this up once more and just finish it off with a little bit more of that foliage, and because I want to have it so it's tucked in so it looks like grass. So that's one part. Actually, I'll pop that right down. Then I'm going to have some of it coming out from the side so it looks like branches that are overhanging the stream. So I'm going to get that there, and one more little bit. And remember, you can cut as much of this as you want, which is going to go there. So now our little bird has got so many different places to be able to go and forage for his nest, that you'll see the real great effects. I'm just going to stick this down so that it doesn't get caught in that score line. Double check it. I've got a tiny bit there that's slipping off, really small. So when I look at it now, so Willow has been foraging. He can get his ferns from the trees. He can get his ferns from the grasses that are over our fence post. Our ferns from the bottom that's giving us dimension, taking us into the story. He's building his nest near the drippy old tap so that there's always going to be a little water there for the little babies. And we close it up and we've got this fabulous lock that just finishes off the story. So it's about storytelling, and that's the best bit about it. Now, we've got new collections coming out, and I'm going to tell you that if you've loved what you've seen already, then you're going to love the future collections. But more importantly, they're all going to work together. So don't think that what you're buying now you're going to be using and putting in the cupboard. What you're buying now you're actually going to be using and keeping on your desk. And if you do put it away, make sure you remember where it is, because you're going to need it very, very soon. Thank you all so much. I can't wait till when we can all get together and have classes again. Just want to remind you that code is euros. I'm sure that one of the team will put details on the bottom of the screen. Thank you to everybody, and stay safe everyone. And what's for dinner tonight? Oh, please tell me what you're having, but I know that mine will involve something to do with little round marrows.